Good evening, and welcome to the Reel McCoy. I'm your host, Meffistoe, and always with me, my hetero life mate, all my feelings. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, buddy.
All today with an avatar, kind of got a little bit of inspiration from horror Amarada. Or not really.
Too spoopy, I guess.
too spoopy. What is the Reel McCoy, you might ask? The Reel McCoy is your weekly movie podcast where we ask you to go watch a movie. You watch it and we come back to us. We talk about it, we review it, and we break it down for you. This week, we finish up the horror month of October, I guess. It's a spooky month of October with a wonderful horror classic. H.P. Lovecraft's, what was the name of the book?
It was Herbert West, the Re-Animator. Yeah,
the Re-Animator. Yes, yeah. The movie's called Re-Animator. It's based on an H.P. Lovecraft book, kind of from 1933, I guess.
I would say loosely based.
Loosely based. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's loosely based. But they do give him credit at the beginning. And I was like, ooh, yeah, that's interesting. Went to Wikipedia and was like, oh, okay.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that right away, right soon away. Right. If you want to interact with the show, you want to contact me, give suggestions, all that good stuff. At me on not on Twitch, holy hell, on Twitter. You might as well just follow me on Twitch, but don't expect much. Meffistoe on Twitter, at Meffistoe. DMs are open for everybody. You can DM me whatever you want. You can DM me on Instagram at Meffistoe79, and you can always email the show at the Reel McCoy podcast at gmail.com. And yeah, we're also kind of side note. I've been not building up, but I was making sure that all the content on YouTube is backed up and all available on both alt tech platforms, just in case just in case somebody will do some funny business, because lately a lot of various creators from all around the globe, and it doesn't matter if they deal with politics, if they don't deal with politics,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
they get dinged for whatever reason. They go into their past and they just pick a movie, or not pick a movie, but pick a video, and they just blast it. And it keeps happening to like people who really don't deserve it, really who don't deal with cancel culture and all that stuff. They just get dinged for no apparent reason. So everything is backed up on Rumble, everything is backed up on Odyssey. And to be fair, just to boast my own horn, I had an earlier account than Nick Rekieta on Rumble, and he's killing it over there. He is killing it over there. But okay, enough with the boasting. Re-Animator. Let's go straight into this thing with a little segment we call Behind the Screens.
Production take 2. Production.
Yeah, I was just about to say, oh my God, I'm on top of it. And then I pressed the button. Right.
I was going to say,
behind the screens.
Almost just this close. Oh, right there. And then the last stumble.
We really hadn't had a chance to talk about what happened to me all day. I will talk to you about that, let's say on Meffistoe After Dark, after the show's over. It's hilarious. Behind the Screens is where we turn to All My Feelings and we get the lowdown on everything on the production side, everything, the lowdown on behind the scenes.
Okay. As I mentioned before, it was based off of H.P. Lovecraft's just Herbert West Re-Animator. It was so funny is the fact that Gordon, the original screenwriter, couldn't actually find a copy of the original anywhere. So he actually had to borrow it from the Chicago Public Library.
Oh, cool.
To read it there.
Okay.
You'll notice that a lot of things are about Chicago in this.
Yes.
Even though it's not based in Chicago.
It's not. It's based in Massachusetts. Yeah.
Yes. Originally, it was supposed to actually be adapted into a play.
Okay.
Then they thought, well, actually, we're going to make a full television series out of it.
Ooh, that would have been that would have been interesting.
Pilot and 12 full episodes.
Wow.
They were ready to go.
Okay.
So actually went to Bob Greenberg, who actually worked with John Carpenter.
Okay.
On makeup and visual effects, who told him, no, what you have to do is you actually have to make this into a film. You have to make this into a horror film because it would do phenomenally.
Okay, cool.
So it was actually Bob who introduced them to Brian Yunza, who was finally the one who not only helped produce most of the film, but also convinced Stuart Gordon to finally make it actually into a film.
Okay, cool, awesome. Yeah. Makeup wise, I did a little bit of digging myself this week because I was really impressed with this movie, and we kind of talked about the stuff that happens, and we're going to discuss it in this podcast. Yeah. Do you have all the famous names that have worked on this movie? Please tell me.
There's a litany of them.
Oh yeah, please.
I think one of the probably the most famous one is John Newland.
Yes. Do you got anybody else? Like I know that the guy who did Savini, Paul Savini,
Tom Savini.
Tom Savini. You know me in names, fucking names. Tom Savini worked on Dawn of the Dead, which we covered last October. Worked on this. The guy who did who worked with John Carpenter on one of this stuff did this. Some guy who worked on Nightmare on Elm Street worked on this. Mm-hmm. It's an amalgamation of people who worked on different films, kind of coagulated and worked on this, and it's fucking amazing. I'm sorry, I kind of
it's fine. It's fine.
Stepped on your game.
No, I was gonna say. Speaking of that, though, John Newland, who did he did most of the actual makeup effects.
Yeah,
he based it heavily off of footage footage and film that they actually took in the Cook County morgue in Chicago, and
Oh.
also pictures of corpses.
Ooh, okay. Cool.
And you know, the morgue itself was actually based off of the Cook County morgue.
Was it really that small? I mean,
No, just the way that it was set up, because at
okay.
the time, it was one of the most advanced in the United States.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, it had been just recently renovated. It was very like top of the line at the time.
Go on.
Speaking of Mr. John Newland, you stated it was the bloodiest film he ever worked on. They
Okay.
used 24 gallons of fake blood.
Oof. It shows. It shows. It's
it shows.
Let's just say this. We're going to try and make this as YouTube safe as possible, but
I don't think you're going to be able to show nearly half of the film.
Let's just say there is a reason why I backed up my shit on Odyssey and Rumble.
Yeah,
not a fucking joke. Yeah, that's it.
So
the depiction of blood on YouTube is iffy. It's a little bit iffy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on. Keep
okay.
going.
Anyway, so you know, our friend Mr. Combs.
Yes.
He took the role only because he thought it was going to be so small that no one would ever see it.
Oh my God. How much?
And it defined his career.
Yes. Yes, it did. How many Re-Animator movies have they done? They done The Bride of the Re-Animator. And I'm not really sure what else.
I think they did 3 in total.
Yeah. Okay.
They did one just recently, actually.
I think that's either a reimagination, a reboot, or something. They didn't bring him in. I don't think they did.
No, I believe he is actually in it.
He is. I haven't checked it out. I know there's a remake or reboot or something. I haven't really checked it out because I wanted to stay focused on this.
What's up? So anyway, also originally, this going back, it was actually supposed to be based around the turn of the century because he wanted to have that gothic feel to make it feel like like a Frankenstein-esque kind of tale. But then they realized that it would balloon the budget to an astronomical degree, so they had to tailor it back. And so that's when Stuart Gordon decided he wanted to make the hospital there be reminiscent of Cook County.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And basically make it look like it was in modern day Chicago at the time.
Yeah.
So, the original script had no comedy in it whatsoever.
Point of personal reference here. Most of the comedy in this movie, I think, was not meant to be comedic per se.
Oh, there are a couple of lines in there, especially when Herbert tells him no one would believe a talking head.
Yeah,
you belong in a sideshow. That's a line that was in there. The bumbling headless corpse that we'll get to.
Yes,
that was supposed to be in there as slapstick comedy.
Really, I was like, yeah, it is funny to me.
Oh,
but
I actually
maybe
ask you, which version of the film did you watch?
Oh, I have no idea. You know what?
How long was the edit of the film that you watched?
Hour 25.
Okay, so we watched this. That is the actual.
I think that's the longer version. I know there's a.
No, it's not.
That's
the short version.
Really?
Because we miss one very, very, very dirty line in there.
Okay.
Which we'll get to when that scene comes up, because I don't want to ruin it for you, because it's really funny.
No, hey, no problem. If I missed anything,
I'll just say the actors on scene were pretty adamant that that's the reason why this actor got divorced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was desperately looking for the director's cut version. I couldn't find it.
That's the funny thing is
I couldn't find it legally.
We're gonna get to that in just a minute. So I'm just gonna go to just the Dr. Hill bit.
Yeah.
The Dr. Hill zombie contained multiple different angles and effects. Like, you know how remember the Kevin Bacon kill in Friday the 13th, the original,
Yes.
where the
Yeah.
arrow went through the throat,
Yes.
and how it was him laying there and they had the fake body underneath there?
Correct.
Utilized again by the brilliant Tom Savini.
Savini. Yeah.
And especially with him carrying the head.
Yeah. So they did kind of the same with Dr. Hill?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's really, really cool the way that they shot it and everything. So, okay, the film was actually never submitted to the MPAA on its initial theatrical release.
Which means it's an automatic R or
No, they were afraid it was going to get an X. At the time, you could
Ooh,
bypass the MPAA if you were if you understood the fact that you got very, very limited advertising. Like, you could not advertise it
okay. I get it.
nationwide. Like, you
So-
couldn't have like commercials for it, and
Okay.
et cetera, et
I
cetera.
get it.
So the thing is, when it came to the VHS and DVD stuff later on, they did get it reviewed. It got an R after they did re-editing, and that's the version that's 85 minutes. That's the one we watched. The one that was the quote unquote director's cut, which was never a director's cut because the director didn't. It was just the actual theatrical cut. Was an hour and 40 minutes.
Ooh, that's
The
okay.
original first cut of the film was 2.5 hours.
Oh
How?
shit. Oh shit. 2.5
no.
hours. To be perfectly honest, the thing that made this movie so enjoyable is the fact that it is very, very tight in terms of editing.
It's just bam, 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 bam. Like, it's
Yeah.
scene after scene after scene. You don't have room to breathe.
Yeah, you have-
in this movie.
Yeah, you have no room to breathe whatsoever. So making it a 2 hours 20, that's that might have hurt it, to be honest. It would be interesting to watch it now, but yeah, an hour 25, maybe hour 35, maybe hour 40. Okay, great. But you need this especially in this movie.
Oh yeah, it has to move at that clip.
Yeah.
Like it has to. You can't give a movie like this with how slapstick and how inane a lot of it is to give
Yeah.
it time to breathe. Because if you give it time to breathe, you just start laughing at it, how absurd it is. You can't enjoy like any kind of horror aspect or suspense from it
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
So moving on. So again, with the home rental market and everything, the film originally only had a $900,000 budget.
Okay. They actually made the 900,000?
At $2 million gross at the theaters.
That's pretty good.
So, return on investment, and then when it went to VHS and then DVD sales,
Gangbusters. Yeah.
13 million in its first print run.
That's insane.
It did
back when print runs were like books, like first edition, great. Let's do second, third, fourth.
Third, fourth, yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's great. That's pretty awesome.
So, another really funny thing about this is the film itself was shot in 18 days. That's it.
Pretty good. That
even the
would have
2.5
kept the
hour
budget-
version was going to be was shot 18 days.
I mean, it's pretty.
That's
it keeps your budget down, and you just don't do too many takes.
Insane.
That means every single sort of you got the specialty like effects moment. That means that's a one shot.
A lot of
one
work.
shot done.
Yeah.
All
a lot of
cool.
work. So, some other fun little side bits is that reportedly this was actually David Bowie's favorite film of all time.
I can see that. David Bowie, especially in 85.
Yes.
I mean, they probably asked him much later in life, but 85, that would have been his Slender Man years, I think, right?
Yeah, because this is after Starman, so yeah.
Yeah,
This is after Ziggy
for
Stardust.
sure, for
Yeah,
sure. Yes, I get it. It's the little China girl time. It's that sort of era.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Also, one actress had apparently a fascination with dildos,
Which one?
and
Don't say
she.
Barbara Crampton.
It's not Barbara. It's not Barbara Ward. No, sorry, not Barbara Crampton. Sorry.
Oh, by the way, I have to correct myself from last week. I kind of misconstrued two different things. I did say last week, I don't know if anybody saw or remember or anything. I did say last week that she was a Playboy girl that had a nasty boyfriend, and she was supposed to marry Hugh Hefner, and it didn't happen,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then she
yeah.
died. I completely switched
a
it.
completely different person. Yeah,
She did do a Playboy spread. That was correct.
yeah,
But she wasn't the woman that it was a completely different, girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
But she did do a Playboy spread.
Yeah, say but the thing was, this actress would hide dildos on set amongst the fake corpses.
That's fucking funny. That's hilarious. Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Please say it's the doctor, the female doctor, please. That's the only other woman in the fucking cast. It's Dr. Monroe or whatever her name is. Please say it is.
I can't confirm or deny if you're correct.
Oh, you can't confirm. Yes. Right. Anything else?
The last bit is obviously the big one, is which we can start going into it, because the opener. This will lead right into the opener.
Let me just put it up. Let's go.
I would say no, the opener with the strobing effects with the shots from
the intro. Yeah, just talk
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, talk about
the
it. It's
blatant
very interesting.
Psycho ripoff.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
1000%. I believe it was it Gene Siskel or was it Roger Ebert? One of the two of them gave him. They said they were going to give it 3.5 stars, but they had to take half a star off because they blatantly ripped off the the music from Psycho.
Yes, I was like, yeah, this sounds very familiar.
Yeah,
And I don't know, but the whole opening. So we've got like a sort of a prologue scene. We're gonna discuss it in a second, and then we have this very elongated intro where it's like psychedelic and the thing.
Oh,
but
yeah,
the music is fucking creepy.
You killed him. No, I gave him life.
Yes.
Oh, Herbert West, you absolute maniac.
Yeah. Ah, dude.
And then
so
the Miskatonic University that we see right over there, that's the same building that they used for the Cyberdyne facility in T2.
What? Where? What? Which one?
The outside shots of the opening shots of the outside of the hospital and the university, that's the same building.
You mean the Arkham one? Let me see.
No, you're looking at that. You're looking at the Swiss facility.
Oh, you can see the little screen I have, the share screen.
No, I know you're referring to the Swiss hospital.
Oh, the Swiss hospital is supposed to be Cyberdyne?
No, the Miskatonic one is. What you're referring to is the Swiss one.
This is the Cyberdyne Systems building?
Yeah.
That isn't supposed to have, like, it's a building with windows, though.
The other side of the building.
Oh, it's the other side of that building. Duh. Okay. Thank you. Right. Let's jump into this movie. We'll just say hello to the people who are watching. Thank you, Saf, for joining us. Thank you, DK Rose, for joining us. And all you lurkers out there. I can see you. I see you. Thank you. Thank you for just being here. Right. Let's move on. So, like I said, the Herbert West. Jeffrey Combs is fucking I love this actor in so many ways. He's like one of my favorite like guest starring actor in the Star Trek universe.
Oh,
Plus,
that's fair. Yeah.
he's done these little parts all over the place, and it's always fucking good.
It's
Always fucking good.
what I love about Herbert West, the character. No, it doesn't matter what scene he's in this film. Your attention is drawn to him immediately.
Yes, because
Because this man, the
go go.
character himself, could be a competitive eater. He's eating up that much scenery.
Oh, that's right. It's literally it, and it switches moods, right? So at one time he's like this creepy dude. We're going to discuss that, and another time he seems like you know, giddy as a schoolboy kind of deal. When he goes out to the basement, he's like, "Ooh, there's a basement! I love
Well, there's a
this!" He's like,
basement.
"Yeah," he's so like happy, like super happy. And when he faces off with Dr. Hill, he's serious in terms of he is frustrated, indignated, he's arrogant, he's a know-it-all. So he has these moods, and you're just focused on his acting.
Yeah, definitely.
It's fucking awesome. He would chew up the 35 millimeters of that fucking film. Can I show this? No. Yeah, there we go. So we see the opening scene in the Swiss kind of hospital. We see people bursting into Gruber's office. Gruber's the guy on the floor, and they
Which,
see
by the
Herbert
way,
West.
you have to love the fact that his name is Hans Gruber.
Yes. Oh, dude, I had it on my notes. I actually took notes. They're very small, but I took notes like Hans Gruber. Somebody was watching this, and then he said, "Oh, I love that name. Let me put it
Yep.
in my script."
Because it was
Hans
3 years before Die Hard.
It was literally 3 years before Die Hard. And then we get that little psychedelic intro, and after again, they kind of arrest Herbert West in that intro, in that prologue, but later on when he gets introduced, I was like, nothing really happened to him, did it?
Yeah,
Right?
that's why there's
There's a
you
little bit of
don't really go
inconsistency.
into watching Re-Animator to go, huh.
Aha, there's a story inconsistency over here.
Well, that's why I think, well, again, it got cut down from 2.5 hours to an hour and a half, which, yeah, some things are going to get lost in the middle.
Yeah. Don't I know it? And after the intro, it kind of jumped into this Arkham facility. Yes. Arkham facility in Massachusetts. And that gave me another little chuckle. It's like, couldn't you just put it like not Massachusetts, more like close to Gotham? It would have been funny as fuck.
Wait until hold on. Keep going. So we get introduced to Daniel Cain, who is,
Yes.
he just won't give up on trying to save a patient. So it kind of sets up him as seeing
The
the
good
good
guy. Yeah.
the good in what Herbert West's experiments could do
Yeah.
by saving lives, inevitably. That's what so you could see why he would fall into the trap of wanting to help him. Not only besides you just, obviously the scientific curiosity. But.
Yeah. Yeah. To be perfectly honest, when you first see Herbert West, you're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Plus, you see the Hans Gruber kind of face explodes, and it kind of reminded me of the same effect that they did for Total Recall.
Oh yeah.
A little bit. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the Total Recall kind of eyes popping and kind of bursting. Where in Total Recall they didn't do it for the horror thing; it just did it for the shock value.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it sets up Herbert West as this creepy, maniacal, maybe even a psycho dude. But overall, he's got really good intentions. He's got really, really good intentions. He's like sort of the anti-hero, but you are definitely rooting for him.
Well, in many ways, he is the when H.P. Lovecraft, by the way, when he wrote this story, only because he was getting at the time he was getting paid. It was $5 per short story.
Okay.
The time was decent money, but he needed the money. That's the only reason why he wrote it. He hated the story, by the way.
Really?
Because he thought like
It's
this is just basically a ripoff off of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. That's
I can't say it. I have something prepared for you.
okay.
Which, to be fair, it
Okay.
was sort of a kismet moment. It's a kismet moment. You'll see it when I pull it up. Cool. I
Alright.
just popped up the. We talked about the morgue that was kind of faced over the Cook County, not jail. God damn it, not the Cook County jail. The Cook County morgue.
More, yeah.
And today you would expect them to be in individual kind of cells, right? You see it in
Well, it
other
was actually
movies.
more. It was the operating facility that on the other side of the room.
You mean that one was fake? Oh,
Yes.
that's interesting. I
Yeah.
thought you meant the actual the
Oh,
morgue.
not the actual cold storage where they actually where they typically would actually put them in, the separate sealed metal,
Yeah.
like basically metal little coffins, essentially. They have a little mausoleum in the interim. But
And
what's funny in the interim there is we
Yeah.
do get introduced before that to the most inept security guard in the world. Mr. Mace.
Yeah, Mr. Mace. I kind of felt bad for Mr. Mace. I really kind of at the end, I really felt bad for him. It was like, you have a gun, you don't even use it. It's like, get help, get something.
What's funny is Stuart Gordon has actually gone on record in several interviews stating the reason why, if you notice too, he's reading a boudoir. It's actually listed as the boudoir.
Okay.
Basically, like looking at a Playboy.
Yeah.
The reason why he keeps getting up and going and leaving his post is because he's going to masturbate. Stuart Gordon, the writer of the script, said that Mace is going to jack off.
Oh fuck yeah! You know what? Now I'm back on Mace's side because I felt sorry for him. Right? I felt sorry for him. He's missing all the action. He's missing all this. It's like, okay, so Mace is going to jack off in the bathroom because he was reading Ooh La La. Oh my god! Yes. So once came.
Oh, there is
there's a moment. It kind of sets up the whole Dr. Hill's fascination with mind control, where he walks in, he's in the middle of doing this whole and doing samples from a cadaver brain. That kind of is all of his research, right?
Yeah, because he's setting up a new way to perform a lobotomy in order to basically subjugate the victim's will.
The victims, yeah.
So it's and what's odd is it's like that's what Jeffrey Dahmer was doing.
I know. A lot of things fell into place this week with watching this movie. I had a rewatch. I heard somebody talk about the Jeffrey Dahmer series, which
is fucking
I need
phenomenal.
to watch. It's on the list, but I need to watch. The problem is every time there's a series I need to watch, I don't want to watch it by myself. I want to watch it with Mrs. Meth. Getting her to try out these things is so difficult. It's absolutely difficult. She hates modern stuff.
Oh, by the way, she would hate Dahmer because
she already hates Dahmer.
There's no way she would watch like half of an episode. Like, nope.
Yeah, it was hard to muscle her to watch Mindhunter.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's a fantastic show that got fucking canceled.
Yeah. But I was gonna say the other funny bit there too is there is a body that's in the morgue that they had to put emergency makeup on with the burn marks, and the arm that keeps falling over. And
yes,
yeah, that's an extra, and you can tell because he wouldn't hold his breath because the bag is moving up and down.
Oh my god, I didn't notice it because but it's fucking it's extras. This is 85 and you said it's an 18 day shoot.
They're just like
go.
Fuck it.
Yeah, just go. Whatever. Right. One more thing which kind of sets up the whole deal is we get introduced to Megan. Am I right
Megan.
about the name? Yes,
which
I
is
remember
so
the
funny.
name.
So funny is there is that juxtaposition between West and Hill having that condescending conversation.
Yeah.
Dan putting up the little postmark for the wanted for a roommate, and then it
Yes.
goes right into them fucking.
Yes, I know. They kind of
and,
posted it
and
in.
guess who ruins it?
Yes, and Herbert
Fucking
West.
cat. No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
fucking cat.
Yeah, the cat that jumps on him. Yeah.
Fucking cat. I can't wait to talk about it. Fuck you, Jinxie. Never gonna let it go.
You're never gonna let it go. Right.
And side note, did you see what band poster? It's the Talking Heads.
Talking Heads. It's the Talking Heads.
Oh,
That's right.
So
It's just so 85. It's unreal, dude. It's so 85. All right, we're gonna make a stop now. I know it's a little bit early than usual, but we're gonna make a stop now. We're gonna do our first segment of the night because it's gonna be a lightning round. It is Missing Marquee. What is Missing Marquee for the uninitiated? Missing Marquee is we take 10 posters, have their text written off. I displayed them, and you guys out there and all my feelings are going to have to guess which movie this is. It's going to be a lightning round today because, yes, we got a really good movie to do. So, without further ado, let's get rolling.
Bad Teacher.
Bad Teacher.
Is that just National Lampoon's Vacation?
No, that is not.
Oh, Three Amigos?
Nope. His detective character. Oh. Okay, chat.
No,
All my feelings is stomped. This is your time to shine. Which movie is this? And we're not going to have a lightning round.
It's not just The Jerk.
That is not The Jerk. Jerk is with Steve Martin.
Okay. No.
Never
been a big fan of Chevy Chase, so that's
yes,
why
I know.
Fletch.
Fletch, correct. This is thank you, Paul. This is Fletch Lives. That's Fletch 2.
Oh, that's not Billy Madison. That's
not Billy Madison.
Whoa, I am just off today.
I was like, yes, he might fall, he might stumble. It might go for 30 seconds. Chat, I know it's 20 seconds. I know it's hard.
Madison.
I know it's hard.
Wow, I am drawing a blank today.
Think of all the characters that he played before. Come on.
I can't think of it.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy you're stomped. I don't mean to,
I'm like, no, I don't know. This is like the easiest one because I remember even the Bob Barker fight.
Literally. Thank
Happy
you,
Gilmore.
Paul.
Wow.
For the rest of you again. Happy Gilmore.
That. What is wrong with me
Happy
today?
fucking Gilmore.
Labyrinth.
Correct.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls. Talked about it last week. This is going to be tough. That's a tough film. I don't remember the two actors' name, but the actress is Mina Sorvino. Yep.
It's not Species.
Not Species, no. That's with Marge Helgebrand.
Is it Mimic?
It is Mimic, correct.
Yeah.
An oldie but a goldie. Chat. Oldie but a goldie, guys. Oh, I need to bring my I've got a buzzer.
Now the other ones are I could kind of see because I just flubbed on Happy Gilmore.
It's not the Abyss, Targo, not the Abyss, or Torgo, sorry.
He was referring to the previous one.
Oh, the previous? Oh,
yeah.
Good guess about that previous one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just let me do one thing. I'm sorry. I'm really apologize. I don't do this. I
with
just
animated ones, but like it's hard to figure out.
For now, I'm gonna flash it up on the screen again. Don't worry. Not that one. uh,
That's not.
ladies,
Is that Plan
ladies,
9 from Outer Space?
this is Plan 9 from Outer Space, the worst
Okay.
movie in the world.
Some like it hot.
Some like it hot. Paul
Is that
with
the raid?
This is the raid, of course. Yes. And last one. You had problems with this last time I put it up, by the way. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Paul with the guess on the first
Buck
one is
Rogers.
Buck Rogers. That's a really, really good guess. This is
No wonder
Michael
why,
Douglas. This is the third movie that this trio has done together.
Yeah.
After they did the two like adventure movies where they're after, you know, stuff. Don't remember. Again, we had it like a couple of weeks ago when Nick was on. Like Treasure on the Nile or something like that. This is the third.
Oh, that was Jewel of the Nile.
Jewel of the Nile.
Yeah.
That's it. There's another one, and this is the third one. Kathleen Turner, Danny DeVito. Oh, I love it when you're stomped. I love it.
Nah.
Chat is stomped. All my feelings are stomped. This is, of course, War of the Roses.
Which that belies nothing that really is in the film either. That's so weird.
Well, they're both named Rose, I think. Like, it's the Rose family, so it's the War of the Roses.
I meant the poster. The poster belies nothing that's in
it's the only good poster. There's a
like
really
no context
shitty
clues in that at all.
There's a really shitty one that you don't see the actors, and that you're like, is this American Beauty or whatever?
Man, that Plan 9 from Outer Space one, though, that's like, how is that supposed to be a lightning round one? That is way out there.
I kind of thought you would know that.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't think you would be. I didn't think you would be stuck at Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. No, my brain just went, no, I'm done.
To be fair, I put it up myself, and I was like, okay, that's a bad teacher. I went to to Happy Gilmore. I was like, Billy Madison. Oh no, it's the other one. It's Happy Gilmore. It's either that one or that one.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. So, we get introduced to Barbara Halsey getting nailed to the floor. We get introduced to the cat.
Rufus.
Rufus.
Oh, you piece of shit.
Just
like Jinxie.
You get introduced to that. And you can already tell she's on her way out. She opens the door and he's standing there, and I was like, oh, that's creepy.
Did you look at what their address was?
I didn't. No.
666 Darkmoor.
I've seen this movie 2 weeks ago, and I texted you and was like, I fucking love this movie. And I've watched it again a couple of times, and I was like, God damn it. How did I miss that? Yes.
There's just so many like subtle little things that are in the film where you're like,
yeah,
it's so stupid.
There are layers to this movie. Right. The taskbar is giving me headache. There we go. It's done. So, like I said before, when he gets to the basement, he's like, Herbert West is completely giddy, out of his mind. And
that's juxtaposed to Megan going,
Megan is
something's not right with this guy.
Yeah, she's being more, he's not. And she kind of looks at Kane, and he's like, I don't know. And as he said something that kind of triggered him. I don't remember what it was. And he said something, it triggered Herbert West, and immediately he pulls out like a year's rent. Here you go. Or something.
Was it, oh, well, yeah, I'll be quiet and everything's like, you'll only see me on the first of the month. And here's the first 2 months in advance.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm done. And it kind of sets up, it kind of puts like Kane in in a weird position where he really wants to listen to his girlfriend or fiance,
Beyonce, yeah.
but he really loves the money.
Well, it's
And
the
he,
fact that he needs the money at the
yeah,
time, and
it's sort of an inevitable choice, but he elects to. The thing is, if he is not taking the money, he has to move out, meaning he's not going to see his fiance that much.
well, and also the fact that he was introduced to Herbert West by the dean of the school and
Yes,
talking
and
to like the renowned Dr. Hill during their their first little spat that they had together. But still, like he was
yeah,
being introduced to them, like, oh, this will be your colleague. You'll be studying along with him. So it wasn't like he was some stranger who just knocked on the door and went, "Hey, by the way, I'm super fucking creepy.
yeah, yeah,
Love this basement. Plenty of room for bodies." Did I say that out loud?
yeah. And if I was Ken, it's like I really don't want to be associated with with the likes of you, but nobody showed up, and you're giving me money.
And also, like, the dean has already given you the go ahead, and I'm going to be studying along with you anyway. So we're going to be spending the time together to begin with. So it's like, all right, whatever.
And now we get to one of the pivotal scenes. I think it's one of the pivotal scenes where you see basically uh Hill, who already kind of had let's say a rough encounter with Herbert West, and where Herbert is like, you are doing a derivative work, and
Like,
this is a student, right?
outright chastising.
Yeah, being
Like,
super
oh,
arrogant.
you're closing their minds before they even have a time to learn for their
No,
own.
no. I mean, in the first encounter with
Oh,
Halsey and
yes.
with
Oh,
Kane, he
well, because
already did. You do a
yeah,
derivative work of grouper.
because he said in Europe they actually consider it plagiarism.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have the encounter that is most pivotal is this. It's the lesson. And he does the pencil thing
Twice.
twice.
Yeah.
Twice. Once he breaks it and it kind of disturbs the class where everybody's looking at him, and you could tell it's very much of the period. No one would fucking care if he did that on public. Like today, I wouldn't think so. But then it would have been pretty bad to disturb the professor, especially when it's such a technical thing, talking about how to extract the brain, how does the brain work, when is the point of death. So it's
Hmm.
basically really serious stuff, and you disturb the class with that kind of pencil. It's just so
I
good.
love the end of that entire sequence though, because
Yes.
Hill says, "I cannot wait to fail you, Mr. West. And also next time bring a pen."
Yes. And I was like, I thought that's pretty fucking hilarious. That's funny. That's really is funny to me, but I'm not sure it was said with the comedic effect. Because you
Yeah.
see, like Herbert West step up and it's like, you're wasting these people's minds. It's like you're filling it with garbage. It's like, yeah, but I'm like the teacher here, and next time bring a pen. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So it kind of jumps from there. I'm going to jump over like the dinner. There's a dinner where you can see how creepy Hill
I was gonna
really
say the only
is.
thing that's important about that is it's just reiterating the obsession that Hill has for
with
Megan.
For Megan. Yes. It
Yeah.
kind of sets up his whole, like, he is infatuated with her.
Yeah.
Not because she's the dean's daughter. He's just sexually attracted to her, and he wants to like bang. Kind of sets up the ending of the entire fucking movie. And
Yeah, which we're gonna get to, because
yeah,
oh boy, that's one of the in
it's
the
a really
140-minute one.
disturbing scene.
Oh no, there is another line that gets said there.
Oh yeah. I know. I think I know what you mean. So, you see Kane and Megan kind of talk. I say Kane because it's easier. They kind of talk about, well, Rufus is not here. Usually when we make out, he kind of disturbs us. We haven't I haven't seen him in a while. I haven't seen him today, and they start looking for him. And of course, Megan goes into Herbert's room and finds the cat with the reagent. Now I want to
Yeah, because
see.
they're calling out for Rufus, and they find that they actually used an actual dead cat.
No,
That was a real dead cat.
that's a real dead cat.
Yeah,
I thought it was just a fucking effect.
that's not a prop.
That's not a prop. Sorry, YouTube. And the thing is, it's so hard to get to. Let me just there. I wanted to get this. Her face being horrified and shocked, and the looming kind of shadow of Herbert West. It's like, what are you doing in my room? And the juxtaposition of like Kane coming in, looking at this thing and looking bewildered, and all of West's like kind of arguments, like, what are you doing in my room? I was expecting privacy. This is unacceptable. It's like he's not defending himself. He's like, oh, don't look at this dead cat which you just discovered.
Well, he does kind of. Well, he provides an explanation, as in the cat got in the trash, got his head stuck in a jar, and suffocated. He said, "Well, what was I supposed to do? Leave you a note saying that your cat died?"
Yeah, and it's like, well, he was dead when I found him. It's like, that sounds pretty suspicious, dude. And of course, Kane kind of it's like, what is this thing? And West is very defensive because he doesn't trust Kane at this point, right?
You know, I'd say it had been so long since I saw this. The first thing I thought of was, oddly enough, was Idiocracy.
Oh, do tell.
No, just the jar of the reanimating agent.
Oh,
It's
Brondo.
Brondo, the thirst mutilator.
Well, it's got electrolytes.
Yes. It has what plants crave.
It has what plants crave. And of course, we have to escalate that with the night after. Megan kind of leaves, and Kane is awakened with like screams of cats, and he's looking around, and then he goes to the basement where the door is locked, and he kicks down the door and he falls through the fucking steps.
I was going to say, also, Dan, you live there. You know that's a basement. You know it leads directly to stairs.
Yeah. But you know, it's a fun little shot. And then he sees
you got Herbert going, get this thing off me.
yeah. And it's clearly a prop, and I was laughing my ass off.
It's really funny.
It's supposed to be like this tense moment where they chase the cat as well. And it's so fucking dumb. And there's a moment where is it West or Kane that kind of grabs the cat and he throws him on the fucking wall, and there's a prop.
It was Dan.
It was Dan.
Because it was supposed to show how its back was supposed to break, but the part that was supposed to fly off then wasn't supposed to pop off at that point in time.
So the thing is, it got stuck to the wall, and I was laughing hysterically.
And I know it's mean, and I don't wish any ill will toward actual cats, but film cats can go fuck themselves. Because all I'm thinking of, you know me, I'm thinking of Jinxie. God damn
Jonesy.
you, Jinxie.
Jonesy.
Well, I'm also thinking Jinxie is another cat.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
And at this point, Herbert West explains what the reagent is.
And we'll see. And then there's also the bits of levity in there too, where you get to see the other side of Herbert West playing that giddy bit where he goes, ha, "Look out!"
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he actually shows Dan how it works, and he
Yeah.
tells him all about. He tells him it makes them go crazy if the body is there for just too long. It becomes a little bit aggressive, and immediately I'm thinking about, well, this is like the fucking T virus, right?
Yeah.
This is the T virus. This is every single modern zombie movie ever.
The only thing is, it's not. It doesn't actually. It's not like a contagion that spreads.
No,
So it's not a virus.
No,
It's
it's
something
not
that
a
has to be
virus per
injected.
se. But
Yeah.
I'm going off the basis of this is some sort of a weapon or a biological stuff that got everything went haywire and it kind of escaped the lab or something, and it became something. And it's a zombie apocalypse before the zombie apocalypse. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
It just sent me there. It's like, oh, this is like the pre-genesis of a lot of these modern zombie movies.
I could see that, but it's kind of the same thing where it is just the retelling of Frankenstein, because this is exactly what happens in Frankenstein.
Yes, where it's stitched up bodies and some sort of a reagent and coupled
It
with
reanimates
electricity, and it
and
reanimates.
becomes violent.
Yes. Cool. He kind of there's a moment there where after the cat has the back.
That's the other bit. The line that Herbert says to Dan there, where when he goes, I'm gonna administer the reagent again, and the cat starts to move. It's like, don't expect him to tap dance. His back is broken.
Yes. And I laughed as well. It just made me chuckle. It's one of those things where, yes, I know what you're getting there. And it's those moments, those teeny tiny moments where, again, I don't know. You said it was written that way. You said there's an overarching intention from the writer or the director. And it kind of fits with this entire movie where there's moments there where it's super crazy, but there's moments of levity where the entire movie is moving at a fast pace. It just moment to moment to moment to moment, and it makes the movie very enjoyable. Yes, I know it's a little bit of a, summarization, but hold on, there's more. Next, we get the scene where Dan is being chastised by Dean Halsey over the incident with Dr. Hill, right? It's like, don't let this man drag you on. He's
no. Dan goes clearly to the dean and states, Herbert West is able to reanimate life. We should invest funds in this. They're like, no, that's madness. I'm not having you do that. And you should extricate yourself from him as soon as you possibly can, and because it's clearly interfering with your studies. And he also says, well, you can tell Mr. West that he can continue his experiments without the help of a further education or something to that effect.
Well, so West and Kane kind of decide, well, fuck all that, let's do it on our own. So they go to the morgue. And Mace is like, do you have any approval to get here? It was like, yeah, it's Dr. Hill told us we could do it. And he's like, okay.
No, he goes to look underneath. He's like, oh, well, what you got underneath there? Which kind of leads to a very kind of nearly creepier bit when it comes to Mace. As in, we already know that Mace is spending a good portion of his day-to-day in the John doing something else.
Yeah.
Is he maybe looking at some naked bodies? I'm just saying, maybe he's just
maybe more than naked. Stop. So
I'm just saying, as soon as he says it's a meatball got hit by a semi, he goes, ooh, yeah, I lost my appetite.
they go into the morgue and they start doing the selection of the bodies. Like, this is too burned. This is like this disease. This has been too long. Oh, and they find someone that had like a heart attack.
One had listed as malpractice, and they go,
Oh,
"Oh, we can't do that one."
yeah.
You know
Uh,
why? Lawsuit.
Lawsuit.
Be coming
So
after it.
they reanimate this really big dude, and he
Now,
goes crazy.
do you know who that is?
No, but I thought I recognized him, but it kind of lost me. I didn't check.
Now, his name is Peter Kent.
Okay.
He was the stunt double for Arnold Schwarzenegger in 14 movies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So I got a good shot of him. Yeah.
Yeah. And the character's name is technically, they call him Melvin the Re-Animated. That's what they refer to him
Oh,
as.
that's in the credits?
Yeah.
Okay. I love the fact there's a little conversation also with Megan and Dean Halsey as they go into the hospital, and he kind of says to her, leave Dan, he's no good, he'll probably leave, he's like he joined with Wes and kind of is gonna fail him.
Well, he's
And
saying that he's seen other students that were better than Dan. Essentially, that's what he's alluding to. That have fallen down that same kind of path.
yeah, so he kind of mentioned, he doesn't say God complex, but he does mention the fact that he has some sort of a God
Yeah.
complex. And Megan is like, we're engaged, we're set to be married. And it's like, I'm not going to leave him. And he's being annoyed. It kind of sets up the fact that he goes into the morgue after that woman doctor said, yeah, he was just there. He went to the morgue. He goes to the morgue, and that crazy guy, and to be fair, that made me laugh. That made me laugh too. Yeah, we'll do this. It's the least offensive one. I can't show the real one that I want with the butt, where he literally pushed through the door and
Oh yeah, it steps right on him.
squishes him, and then he steps on him. And there, if you notice, there's a little sound effect of a squish, like something gets squished, like like, oh, they did this man dirty. They did this man real dirty, and he ragdolls him. He ragdolls him all throughout that little surgical area, and just he throws him to the floor. And the thing that killed Ish, the reanimated body, is that bone saw through the chest that West picked up.
Which is so funny too, because Herbert tells Dan, move.
Yeah, Dan, move.
I was like, I've got this. Okay.
he aliened him all over the place. And that kind of shuts that dude down. And then they proceed to reanimate Dean Halsey because his body was fresh. And the shot here is like, Dan, help me. It's like, what are you doing? I'm going to have to give him the reagent now because this is our chance. And he mentioned to him, it's like, Dan doesn't want to do it. And he says, this is a great opportunity because we're already logging this. We already have they have the little cassette player, the recorder, right? They already recorded the first experiment. Let's record this experiment.
Well, and also to that point too, they're already kind of pot committed. I mean, he's not gonna get any more dead.
Yeah. And they administer the reagent, and of course Megan walks in, and as soon as she walks in, Dean Halsey springs up to life.
Oh no, he was already up, and he already had.
Was he up already? Oh yeah. Okay,
because he was choking the both of them, and then he goes into the corner and kind of hides himself from Megan when she comes in.
Yes. That's correct. I missed the.
And they have
So
the whole thing where the concept is that basically the dean just went crazy with rage.
yeah, they don't mention the fact that he was assaulted or reanimated or anything. And it leads to one of the creepiest Dr. Hill scene where he kind of
Yeah.
explains to her, yeah, it's probably a neurological damage and you need to sign away a consent form because we need to lobotomize him in order to try and help him.
Well, not lobotomize. No, she
Yeah,
just
it's
basically
some
saying
sort of
that
a
he was going to
procedure, yeah.
do basically just experiments on his brain, essentially. Just, there's no
And
way he's going to end up living through this without it just being a lobotomy. So, without him basically saying so. But anyway, what's also just so off-putting about that, he goes, and if you're ever lonely,
yes, that's
it's
the
like,
moment.
ew, God, it's gross.
And as soon as it goes a little bit, it's like gets to that line where you're like, oh, this guy needs to, oh, I want to fucking punch this guy. Bam, the dean's head rams through the glass, and it kind of frightens Megan away, and it kind of breaks that little creepy cycle that they had, and she just walks away, right? And he's like, her dad is in that padded cell, and that made me laugh too because he is fucking playing it out like a motherfucker. It's like he's a zombie, right?
Yeah.
And he's playing that zombie role perfect. Perfect.
What's funny is, go back and watch that scene again. It's so hilarious. They had to hastily build that together because during early takes, Robert Sampson, who plays the dean, would dive into walls trying to
Yeah.
act insane, and he would accidentally knock the walls over.
They didn't put it together correctly.
And at the end, he was actually forced to not act as crazy as he did, except for against the glass, how he keeps banging his head against the glass.
Yeah.
And you'll notice later that when they actually do set up the lobotomy scene with the two nurses, when he's fighting against the two nurses, the thinner of the two, he kind of shrugs him off. When he rolls to the side, when he hits the wall wobbles.
Oh, was there a scene where they lobotomize him? Oh, yeah.
No, it's just when they're just
yeah, when they
getting
go
him.
to grab him. Yeah. This
Yeah.
one. Yeah. The only thing that, to be fair, that made me chuckle from this entire scene, it's not the fact that they're grabbing him. It's like, we just seen a movie with an orderly that was black as well. Dream Warriors. It's like,
Yeah.
very interesting.
Very much so. What's also funny too is there was a thing where excuse me, Robert Sampson, who actually plays the dean, he actually went home.
Yeah.
One day after shooting, drove into a gas station and fell up without getting the zombie makeup taken off.
Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious. Really?
Yeah, and it's recorded as saying the guy just asked him, "Hey man, are you okay?"
I mean, it just looks like he was punched in the face repeatedly. He gargled blood,
Yeah.
and he has this two fucking huge black, like purple eyes. So yeah, that's hilarious. That's fucking funny. Oh, and it probably was shot April or March or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. That's fucking good. So we get the scene with Megan kind of confessing that something's wrong with her dad, and she is also scared of Dan kind of being dragged away with West as well, right? And kind of sets up the whole. It kind of sets up the mood for the next scene, because the next scene is far more sinister. It's not creepy, it's just sinister. It's like Hill is confronting West, and
Yes.
Hill says, "We both know that Dean Halsey is dead." And up to that point, West didn't actually confess that to Hill, right? The whole reanimation thing. And this is where it you see how sinister Hill really is, because
Yeah.
he's actually in support of West, but he knows he can like have have him under his thumb, so he can divulge his secret, or he can make him shut up and take
And take all the
over
credit. Yeah.
and take all the credit and be the one that actually perfects the reanimation
And
sequence.
also also apply his
Yeah,
efforts that he has with the lobotomy, and his able to control, because you know how they show it near the end where he's able to control the zombies, and that was
yes.
just kind of just out of nowhere.
There's a
He just says it.
yeah,
In the longer cut, it actually goes into depth on Hill's research and how he was able to do that before with a
okay.
lobotomized patient. So
So it also kind of, well, we'll get to the at the end, but it he goes into this research, and he said, "This is brilliant work. This is fantastic work." And West, look at his face. He's bewildered. The fact that Hill's actor is like this tall man, and Jeffrey Combs is
David
pretty
Gale,
short. Yeah,
Mhm.
pretty short. It's like he towers over him, not only in terms of being a figurehead, but also physically towers over him. And there's a point in where West is kind of broken. It's like, you're not gonna steal my work. This is my life's work. And he takes a shovel and he kills him and
Well, no, because what's
decapitates him.
funny is there's the juxtaposition between the two characters again with that. The thing is, what does Hill say? This is going to make me famous
Yeah.
before he gets killed. And also, Stuart Gordon, infamous for utilizing shovels as a melee weapon in his films.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool. Let me just flip it up on this. This is the safest version I can have.
Yeah.
But you can tell it's in the eyes. To me, it wasn't like a psycho look. It's more like a this is mine and you're not gonna get it look.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't come from being afraid. It comes from being righteous, I guess. I don't know. Or protective of his things, his property, his life's work. Yeah.
Well, and what's funny too is right after that, he says, "Well, I've done it on bodies before, but I've never done it on parts."
Yeah.
So he decides to reanimate the head,
and then he
and the body.
reanimates the body. And then he has this creepy conversation with the dean. And
No, this is Dr. Hill.
Yeah, the dean. He had this creepy conversation with Dr. Hill, and this is before the doctor actually can articulate more, later on.
Doesn't he goes, "Mr. West must kill you."
But later on, he
you must
actually
die.
he has a more of a coherent conversation where he still is struggling because his larynx kind of got chopped off, or literally.
Well, we're not going to get into the physics of the fact that he couldn't talk. Let's just.
Yeah, I know, and I'm being too literate. Yeah, I'm being too literate. And he kind of confesses what happened to Dan, and Dan is lost at this point.
Because the body knocks him out, and
yeah,
at that point in time, the first time you see it, you're like, oh well, he's going to take West and then kill him somewhere else, right?
Yes.
Instead, he just, because after he says you must die, you figured he's gonna kill him.
You see, you kind of saw that last section where he talked to the head. You could see that, like, the body getting close to him, right? And then he knocks him out. Dan comes in. He gets knocked out as well. And again, Dan is completely on the ride, and he seems like he can't do anything about it.
Yeah, well,
But
that's what's really what's important is before that too is that Meg and Dan are going through Hill's office, and Dan finds that bit of his
his
uh,
research, yeah.
his stalker journal where he has
Uh-oh.
the locks of Megan's hair and like a napkin, and they also find out that they see the hole in
Yep,
the
that
dean's head,
exactly.
like that he's been lobotomized.
Yes. And kind of sets up the whole, what he promised something else. He kind of told Megan about the procedure, but it
Mhm.
seems like he did a different procedure, but he actually meant to do his own stuff, right? His own research.
Oh, he was going to do it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, when actually Dan confronts West, is like West is being annoyed that his entire research, not entire research, but his entire supply has been taken by Hill. And he's being really, it seems like almost scared at this point, right?
Yeah. And
But
what's
not
funny
really.
too is that Jeffrey Combs hates that line.
Really?
Hates it. Saying like he took my serum except for what I have upstairs. How do you make a line like that work?
Yeah.
He took
Uh,
everything except for this bit, and I can make more just based off of what I already have.
I love this shot, by the way. When
Yes. Oh yeah. The bumbling body.
the bumbling
with the
body
head.
takes the head out of the little tray, and there's a moment there. I'm not sure it's this moment. There's a moment there where he adds blood to the tray.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. So he puts them
To make it
in that
work.
tray. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, so I assume that they're like zombies in a way where they have to feed off blood then?
Yeah, it kind of didn't. I would imagine he would put some of the reagent in with the blood or something, but it doesn't. Not everything has to make sense.
Well, because the body does inject the head with more serum.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You would expect him to inject a little bit of the serum to that little tray, but he only adds blood to it. Maybe just this is where it kind of like, okay, I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah, your suspension
gonna-
of disbelief just has to be just there.
It has to be. And then, dude, I laughed.
Oh my god, the fake head.
Hysterically.
Which is what's so funny is that Barbara Crampton called them out on this while they were shooting. Asked them, saying with the medical prop head, if he placed the fake head on his shoulders, why couldn't he have just placed the real head on his shoulders?
And I was like, yeah, why did he put his head in the bag? The only reason, like consistent with what we have to deal with, is the bag also contains a pool of blood that he needs to sustain himself.
Well, no, he actually just had just bags of blood in there, just blood bags.
Yeah, okay.
And the serum that we saw later when he opens up because he takes the head out.
Yeah, he takes the head out. Yeah. That's the only reason I could see that he didn't put the head on, because he needed some sort of a pool of blood to be in to sustain himself. The thing is, Mace, like I said, that's why I didn't like this, because Mace is being completely useless.
Well, and that's the scene where he's actually reading the Gentleman's Magazine.
Okay. So he like the doctor goes in, and there's a moment where he stands kind of in the doorway. It's like, Dr. Hill, is that you? And you can see, you can see the head's like, yes, it's me. I laughed so much.
And did you notice how I love the fact that they did line up the shot perfectly, how he was going on the right side of his face first toward it, because the other side was the skull that was exposed.
Yeah, exactly where I was going for.
Oh, it's so perfect.
It's just, It's just good. It's
This
just
movie,
good.
it's so dumb, but it's so funny.
Yeah, I know. It's like dumb jokes, like fart jokes or poop jokes or something, but it fits because I don't know. It just fits. It's sometimes in this movie. It's the thing is this is before he got no, yeah, he got Megan later on. They go into the Dean Halsey's house or Megan's house, right?
So they basically have the setup inside the basically the OR in the morgue where where the coroner would do the autopsy for bodies.
Yes.
They had that set up, and they basically have it set up where they understand that the dean is under the control of Dr. Hill at this point in time. So they cut to Dan and Megan kind of having an almost reconciliation because she said, "I want to hate you. I really want to hate you." And yes,
Just
he's boudoir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. What a guy. What a guy.
What a guy. So yeah, and she kind of it.
And
She didn't break
just
it. She didn't break it off with him, didn't he? But
well
she says she wants to, but she
to
doesn't want
they
to.
because they never actually end up ending things together, and they're about to actually kiss again, and that's when the dean breaks through the door.
Yeah, I'll flash it up real close. He's like breaks through the main door. They're at her doorway. He breaks through the door. He knocks out Dan Kane, and he picks up Megan. And she just faints. I don't think he doesn't hit her, right? No, he doesn't hit her. The thing is, Dr. Hill is having a conversation with his own body, right? Moments before that scene, it was like it kind of gives like a not a juxtaposition, it's sort of an exposition to what is going to happen, and
Yeah.
then it actually happens. And then we have that. Oh no! I can't show that. No!
I was gonna say, now that's a bush.
Oh, just before the bush, he puts
Yeah.
it down in this table, and Hill is fucking creepy. Now, I thought for first time I saw it, I thought it was the body that did the undressing. It's actually Halsey. It's actually her dad that
Yeah.
pulls up her everything.
Yep.
And Dr. Hill is being immensely creepy, as in
Yes.
stalkerish creepy. With, oh, you're gonna be mine. It's gonna be amazing.
So do
and
you
then
want
she-
me to get to
and then
this
she-
whole bit? 'Cause
Yeah,
it gets
that's Bush. Maybe that's safe.
well. There was the body to you have the body fondling
Yeah.
her first. Then
Yes.
the head.
And
Yep.
after the fondling bit, he picks up the head and he's going for a rim shot. Not a rim shot, but he goes for the bush.
Well, just say it's.
He goes for a
He has to would you like some head?
yes.
And,
yeah.
Yeah, in more ways than one there.
In more ways than one.
So
West and Kane kind of devise a plan.
I was just gonna just stop right there.
Oh,
for some little side story about
yes.
David Gale, who plays Dr. Hill.
Yes, please.
His wife divorced him very shortly after this film was released.
Okay.
In the commentary on the DVD re-release, the rest of the cast is noted as saying they're pretty sure that the rape scene was the reason why she divorced him.
She thought it was real?
because during one of the bag, like doing, how they watch dailies.
Yeah.
His wife saw the scene, stormed out, saying, "David, how could you? How dare you do that?" And it's confirmed by Stuart Gordon.
Okay, but it's a fake scene. I mean, it's
I gotta feel
creepy.
he was doing other stuff.
Oh. Well,
And this
Barbara
is kind of
Crampton didn't say anything, I guess.
well, no, with other women. That's probably
Oh, really?
so that kind of the linchpin of maybe he had been doing something beforehand, got caught and said, "I'll never do that
Oh,
again." And this was kind of just spitting in her face.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a problem. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Before we do the big battle scene, we're gonna stop here and we'll do our second segment of the night. My personal favorite. It's called Screen Fighter.
Round 1. Fight.
Screen Fighter for the uninitiated is we take two movies, pit them together, and see which one is the best one. There's no discernible difference between the two. Both of them are good. Both of them are bad. We fall onto our criteria, which is Saturday evening, Friday evening, out with the boys, out with the girls, out with your significant other. Two movies in a vacuum. Which one will you pop in as we do this? And like I said, this is just kismet. Kismet. The first
Wow.
two pairings. I've literally logged onto the website. This is flickchart.com. And the first two are Frankenstein-based movies. Young Frankenstein, which is a parody on Frankenstein, and
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands, which is a reimagination by Tim Burton on Frankenstein. On Pinocchio, but also Frankenstein. Chat participation is very, very much welcome in this segment. You can go ahead and give us your pick of the two. All my feelings. Which one will you pop in?
Well, I think this is one of Johnny Depp's, I'd say pretty much starting the rise of his career. I have to go with Young Frankenstein. It's my favorite. It's my second favorite Mel Brooks film.
After Blazing Saddles?
Yeah.
Cool. Not my favorite Mel Brooks movie. I do appreciate it. I love it. I would go with Edward Scissorhands.
Oh,
Now,
fair.
I had a bit of an argument with Mrs. Meff. She will be the deciding voice in this because, it is what it is. She said, well, one of these is funny and happy, and the other one is dark and weepy. And I don't like, she said that, not me. And I don't like Tim Burton because he's crazy. And I was like, don't you see it's like two Frankenstein movies? And she's like, no, one of them is actually about Frankenstein. It's going to be the Young Frankenstein.
Is it? Pirates.
Yep. Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol, seen it lately, and Trouble in Paradise. I don't think I've seen that one. It's 1932.
I'd watch that sometime. That movie is amazing.
Yes.
Hey, look, two films where people murder people.
Yes, but not actually. Ghost Protocol or Home Alone.
Kevin McAllister is a psychopath. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, but which one will you pick to watch?
Well, it is a John Hughes film. I'm still going to go with Home Alone because I never really much cared for the Mission Impossible films.
Like I said, seen it lately. It is it's a spectacle rather than just a movie. There is some sort of a mystery in it, but it's not really. It's more of a spectacle.
Was that the one where he ran down the side of the Dubai Tower?
Yes. It's with what's her face? Paula Patton. I
Patton.
really don't like her as an actress. Really
and
don't.
What was I remember watching that one because I kept making oh God. Okay. Real quick side story because it's really funny.
Yeah, sure.
So my friend was doing a live stream of it on his Discord with people, and I kept
Well, Ghost Protocol?
whenever Ving Rhames would show up, I just
Yeah.
kept making Arby's jokes.
Okay.
He was getting furious by the
Oh,
end of it. I had people laughing about
I
about
bet
it.
he did. All right, cool. Speaking of spy movies, Get Smart or Meet the Parents. The original Meet the Parents.
Oh, yeah, I would have to go with the original Meet the Parents. Yeah, that's
I would too,
way
because
better film.
Get Smart, I think I saw only 25 minutes of it. If I'm honest, I just don't like it.
Trying to reboot a 60s mockery of something else.
Oh.
Ooh, this is a tough one.
Night of the Living Dead or Amadeus. Because of you, I've actually seen this movie. This is a terrible movie, Night of the Living Dead. It is awful.
Oh yeah,
Awful horror.
it's not good. It's just the impact of it is you cannot deny how it's a seminal film where it's like without it there would not be the zombie genre.
I agree. This is the granddaddy of the zombie movies.
And I do
granddaddy, or maybe just the godfather of.
Well, I do believe all of the rights of the film are still just in the air, so it's all trademark free. So you could just watch the movie. You could just show it to people.
Okay. All right. And Amadeus, which is very, very heavy. It starts off very light and it ends up really heavy, just like the life of Amadeus Mozart.
Yes, yeah. Died in a pauper's grave. Yeah. Yeah.
I would go with Amadeus.
I would also go with Amadeus depending on the time of the year. Around this time, I would watch Night of the Living Dead.
Okay. You know what? I would agree. So we're going to go Amadeus just because whatever. Wayne's World 2 or Animal Crackers.
You've never seen Animal Crackers.
I've seen all the Marx Brothers movies. Duck Soup, the circus one. I've seen them all. All of them. Let's compare. I definitely go with Wayne's World 2, even though it is the lesser of the two movies.
I would definitely go.
Is so time period.
Yeah.
You either get it or don't get it.
Yeah.
So Wayne's World 2 for you?
And I do. So I'm going with the Animal Crackers because Wayne's World 2 is terrible. Oh my God, that movie's so bad. It's so bad, Matt. It is so bad.
You know what? Just because it's Groucho, I'll go with Animal Crackers.
All right, that'll work.
Right, last one. I think it's the easy. We'll do another one. So this is easy. Terminator. Am I correct? Sleepless in Seattle.
But that's a really cool Japanese poster.
Yes, it is. It is. And last one, really last one.
Oh, damn. That's actually a tough one for me.
It's easier for me than you think. For me, it's going to be, even though it's a horrible movie, Swordfish.
Swordfish. Yeah.
Just because I hate the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I hate it as a movie. I love the music in it. But the problem with the music in it and the movie is the fact that it's a musical. I despise the musical. I despise musicals.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. Yeah.
There are only a few that I can rewatch. There's like a handful that I can rewatch. I'm fully aware that the Rocky Horror Picture Show is a cult classic. And it's beloved by a lot of people. And the soundtrack is fucking amazing and people love it. And I love the fact that there's a movie that you have to dress up for to go watch. Otherwise, it's just going to see the movie. So there's a lot of stuff in it. And there was There was a personal story. There's a movie theater. I think it's closed by now. It's a standalone movie theater, one of the older ones.
Mhm.
I've shared one with you that got closed last
Yeah.
year when we talked about
Yep.
Roger Rabbit.
Yep.
It's one of those,
Mhm.
and they had it was Friday midnight, and you can get in with a discount if you were coming dressed up as one of the characters.
Oh, yeah. That's
So
that's that that's the thing that's across,
yeah,
I think,
so
across the entire world, because they have those showings like that all over the United States. It's a big deal.
and it's an experience to go and watch it as
Mhm.
dressed up. It's just a thing. For me personally, bleh, swordfish.
I would only go with the Rocky Horror Picture Show just because of, again, how important it is, and also because, like, if you're gonna go out and see a movie in the theaters and be part of a spectacle, that's something you would want to go see. Swordfish, on the other hand, was one of those films where it was at the cusp of the early 2000s, where everything was kind of 90s and kind of 2000s, in that
Yes.
weird zone in
Yes.
between, where they didn't understand how things actually worked very well.
Yes, it was made in 2001, but you can put it in like 97 and it would just
Oh,
work,
yeah,
and
100%.
people would like
100%.
let it go as a 90s action
Days film,
movie.
yeah.
Uh
I would yeah, you could pass out Swordfish.
yeah.
I was to say the only thing that's really funny about Swordfish 2 is how much money Halle Berry got paid to do a
Eh,
topless scene. She got paid per breast. You know that, right?
yes, it's a I don't remember if it's it's a 500,000 per tit. It literally, I think it was 500,000 per tit. It was a throwaway scene that did nothing to add to the movie. That's why she asked for the money. Because she said she literally the same year she did the movie with Billy Bob Thornton was
Monsters
a
Ball, which is
Monsters Ball.
a
She was naked
great
in
movie.
a very explicit sex
Sex
scene
scene, yeah.
with Billy Bob Thornton where she was like, it was one of those scenes where it was on the cusp of being unsimulated scene.
Sex, yeah. It was really close to it, yeah.
It was really close, and she got, I think it was SAG minimum for that movie.
Yeah, because it
She
was a really
like
low budget
she
independent film.
wanted to get an Oscar for that movie.
Yeah.
But she also did the movie where she got paid to be naked.
Well, the only thing that I find so funny about Swordfish is I only can really remember that scene where he's like, crack this code while you're getting a blowjob, or we're gonna blow your brains out in 30 seconds.
Yeah, dude.
It's like that
isn't
movie is so, like, again, late 90s, early 2000s.
yeah, this is literally quintessential 90s. I'll blow you and you'll crack this fucking 800 and whatever bit code, because
And then
why not?
where he has all of those monitors set up. And again, Saf, you know what hacking is actually like, so it's hilarious how he has all those multiple screens up while he's playing some, again, late 90s, early 2000s techno while he's drinking wine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I
so
would
stupid.
Yeah. I did and do enjoy that movie so much. Anyway, so Dan and Herbert go in. They have some sort of a plan where Herbert West is going to confront Hill, make him, be not focused on Megan, while Dan comes in and saves Megan. The thing is, and this is a great little shot to literally set the scene. And you got Halsey in the background kind of being like this numb thing. And Hill said, well, I was kind of prepared for this because I've
For such an intelligent and brilliant young man,
Yeah.
you came to me. He's like, without a plan. It's like, well, and Herbert says, I have a plan. Well, I have a plan too. And then all of the zombies,
All of a sudden, all the zombies kind of, we're ready to go. We're ready to fight. And there's a big fucking fight scene. And during the middle of it, again, I think, is it West? West kind of injects a lot of reagent into Hill's body, and it kind of
Yes.
morphs into this crazy monster that grabs him with the intestines. I can't really show it, but
yeah.
there's a moment there right before, and when he literally injects.
Well, because he says, "I have an idea." Overdose.
Yeah, and it goes.
And meanwhile, Megan actually got through to her father, the dean, and
Yes.
he's the one who like pushes the zombies away from them and grabs Hill's head and just crushes it.
Yeah. There's a moment where. So there's a moment where Wes gets grabbed by the thing, and he knocks over some sort of an acid. Yeah, it says acid. Some sort of an acid that kind of burns everybody there. And Wes is saying to Dan, just run away. It's okay. I'll be good. While he's being either choked to death or burned to death or both.
Yeah, and you assume at this point that Herbert West is dead too.
Yeah.
But watch the sequels.
watch the sequels. There's also a moment where right before they go out, before the whole shtick comes in, as Mace kind of opens the door, as Halsey kind of I can't really show it, but he kind of does.
Well, he opens the door and goes, "What the fuck?" It's like,
no,
you've been doing your job, Mace.
No, before that, Halsey kind of squishes Hill's head and explodes, and then when the doors open and Mace kind of
it's like a piece of scalp that flies out.
He throws the head, and just like the cat, the piece of scalp kind of gets stick to the wall, and I was like, ha 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 ha. Hilarious, in a very gruesome way, but hilarious. By the way, it kind of harkens back to the scene in Game of Thrones where the Red Viper gets squished
the mountain
by the mountain, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, yes, that's the inspiration. Even though it's written in the book that way,
yeah.
Visually,
yeah.
it looks very much the same, and it's fucking great. Again, can't really show it.
Oh, but by the way,
I have
something
this.
to talk to me about post afterward, Mephi After Dark.
Yes,
let's call it that. I want to talk to you about that Game of Thrones season. That most recent one. Ooh. I sent you a message about it, but we'll talk about it then. But anyway,
okay.
Yeah, but you saw the intestines there.
Yes, it's just a little thing. There's a moment there when they go into the elevator. Dan and I can't really show this. Well, I can. There's no graphical nudity. I just want to get to the point where the zombies that weren't in the morgue still chase Dan and Megan to the elevator, and at a certain point there's this hand that tries to grab Megan, and Dan kind of
the zombie
gets
him, and he's choking Megan out, where it's like, why did you run away from your fiance being choked to death to grab an axe to cut his arm off?
Yeah. Why not just this is the moment.
Why not try to just
it's safe. I'm guessing it's safe enough, I guess.
Yeah, he's you can't see anything, you're fine.
And by the time he chops the hand off, she's
dead.
Gone. She's dead. She's gone. Megan's gone. And of course, well, I can't show that.
Honestly, you're not gonna be able to show pretty much anything because you see Barbara Crampton topless
full
again.
breastises again.
Well, what's funny too is in that scene where it's a callback again to the original scene where you first met Dan, where he will not give up trying to save that woman's life.
Yes. and the only thing he can think about
Is
is
getting the
I'll get
reagent.
this reagent,
Yeah.
and you see him press it, it fades to black, and then you hear a
Her
scream.
scream. Yeah.
Yeah, a scream. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah. What's interesting about that scene is they had to do several takes of Dan confronting her death, where he cries just a little bit,
Yeah.
because apparently he was openly weeping and sobbing and like ugly crying, where he had like
Oh,
snot running down.
did he go too method? He went.
Yeah,
He went.
yeah. And
He went full
Barbara,
retard. Yeah.
yeah,
He
yeah. He
went
did.
full retard. Yeah. Never go full retard,
No,
folks.
Barbara Crampton told him, "Stop it! I'm getting cold here."
Oh, well, she was exposed. I mean, even I'll flash it up again. In this scene, she is covered, but she is
She's fully naked underneath
naked.
a
Yeah,
dress
she
shirt.
is naked in a room where, there's lights and everything, but it's really damn cold on that fucking bed. Yeah, I totally get it. Totally get it.
Yeah.
Cool. That kind of brings us to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick summary. I kind of mentioned it before. Again, there's an odd combination of horror, like gore horror, and zombie flick, Frankenstein-esque movie, and also a bit of levity in terms of either intentional or not intentional. There's, like you mentioned before, there's hidden things that were written in the script and were kind of there, but if you just watch the movie as a horror movie, it kind of skims by.
Oh,
Kind
yeah.
of skims
Definitely.
by. Again,
Definitely.
I've really enjoyed this. I fully admit, heard about the movie, talked about the movie, only seen it a couple of weeks ago for the very first time, and I enjoyed it so much. Watched it again this week a couple of times more, and did the edit that we're gonna watch in a bit. Really enjoyed the movie. Like, I'm not a horror guy, but I can enjoy a movie as a movie, not without like not the genre that I particularly like, but I can enjoy the movie as a movie, and it's really a fun horror movie. It's very much horror, very much gore, but a fun one, a good one, like Freddy. Like, you can have a little bit of levity, and you can have a little bit of like more serious,
Yeah, definitely.
mature stuff, like really mature stuff. And I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed the pacing. It goes from scene to scene to scene to scene, just moves it on it just moves on the track, and you get an enjoyable 85 minutes, 80 minutes flat. And yeah, and Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah, he is. I think every single actor in this film did a phenomenal job.
For me, the weakest one is the guy who played Dan Kane.
Yeah, definitely. I do. I think Barbara Crampton did a fantastic job for her role, and all of they did not have to ADR any of her screams. They were all her own.
Oh, so
Which
she's Jamie Lee Curtis level screaming?
Yeah, like it's
nice.
It's really cool. I agree with you on many of those fronts, and also the Stuart Gordon really wore a lot of his basically his homages on his sleeve, because not only the clear ripoff of Psycho in the music, but
yeah.
in many of the shot compositions, they're so reminiscent of Vertigo. It's alarming. Watch Vertigo again and watch this.
Ooh, I need to rewatch. Well, we
will
soon.
Which, by the way, that's my favorite Hitchcock film. So.
I know.
Oh, it's so good.
We discussed this. Yes,
so good. Vertigo's amazing. But that, and also like everything with the body horror going with obviously from Carpenter, everything with Bob Greenberg and Tom Savini and everything. A lot of even Cronenberg.
Yes,
body horror is heavily utilized in the film, which I think really added to it. And that's what kind of adds into the sequels, where there's a lot more of that. You know, the body explodes and the intestines fly out and all that stuff.
Oh,
It goes way out there, like The Thing-esque.
oh shit.
Yeah.
That's great.
It went
Hey,
body
you know
horror.
what? In certain aspects, especially in that last kind of I call it a battle scene, but yeah, that's sort of a scene where it's kind of a weird combination of the Thing because of the supercharged Dr. Hill body and
Yeah.
the intestines coming in. That kind of reminded me of the Thing that you mentioned, and also Tom Savini's Dawn of the Dead, which we covered, where it just goes beyond the kind of blue makeup and a little bit of gore to
Oh, yeah.
like a step up in makeup, a step up in, oh, we can do this. We can do burned and also exploded corpses coming to life. Let's do that.
Yeah, it's showing to that point. It's really showing the improvement that has gone along from Savini in his early career to where he was at that point in time in his career. And, you know, Savini just got better and better and better and better.
Yeah. All right, cool. Before we end the show, the segment we'll have that, and we'll set it up like this, and we'll put this here. We try to do this every week, where we kind of go back and we do a little edit, and we call it the short version. So enjoy the short version of Re-Animator.
Here we go, the short version.
You killed him. No, I did not. I gave him life.
She just needs a little more time for the drugs to circulate.
And your support of the 12-minute limit on the life of the brainstem after death.
6 to 12 minutes, Mr.
May I introduce my fiancée, Megan Halsey?
Once the skull is plainly visible, you take the bone saw. Perhaps it take... Mr. West, I suggest you get yourself a pen.
How can you teach such drivel? These people are here to learn, and you're closing their minds before they even have a chance.
Rufus is terrified of him. When Wes comes in, he runs and hides.
What are you doing in my room? How dare you come in my room?
What happened?
It was dead when I found it. I've done all I can here. I'll need new lab space.
He loves me. We're getting married.
He's mad. I've seen this happen to medical students before. Good ones.
But I'm convinced that your father's problem is neurological.
You can leave now, Doctor.
When we both know he is quite dead. Your extension of that old fool Gruber's work is really quite brilliant.
Is that you, Dr. Hill?
Yes, it's me.
Oh, I have a plan.
So do I.
See it?
Yep. That's
If you didn't understand what we talked about when we discussed the whole psycho music thing, that little bit at the end kind of showed you what we discussed. Awesome. That kind of brings us to the end of the show, and also the end of October spooky month, which I personally wish you a happy Halloween and enjoy Hallows Eve in about a couple of days, right? You have sort of a long weekend, or is it? Do you work on Halloween?
No, there's no days off for that.
See, you need to be Jewish.
Anyway, I'm sorry, we're not in Israel and I'm not Jewish, so
yeah, exactly. Right. Next week, starting a whole month, and like I said, there is a reason why I back up my shit on alt tech, is the fact that next month we're going to dive through and do a full month of election-based movies. Now, it's not going to be technically all of them about the U.S. elections, because next week we're going to discuss a movie that is super fucking relevant that I will maybe show my I think it's 3 pages that I wrote last year around October, a review of V for Vendetta and how that is going to be. So V for Vendetta, and especially good. We're especially blessed
Remember
because
the 5th of November.
it's going to be on the 5th of November on Guy Fawkes Day. So that's going to be doubly as good. And we're going to have a guest that we never had before. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun if she shows up.
It's going to be a good time. Going to be a good time.
If she shows up and everything is cool. Right. So if you want to interact with the show, please at me on not Twitch. God damn it. I need to take that off. If you want to interact with the show, please, if you're on Twitter at Meffistoe, Twitter is on like a firestorm right now. So beware. If you don't want that, you can at me on Instagram, and you can always email the show, the Reel McCoy podcast at gmail.com. And join us next week for a fantastical movie. Go watch it if you haven't. It's very relevant, very super relevant.
It's a good one. It's a really good movie.
It's a really good movie on its own, but it's really fucking relevant. And we'll see you next week.
Have a good one.